Hey, hello. This is Dina and Stephanie for Unit 4, and this week we actually read the same article, the 2016 K-12 report. So we're going to start with our first ITSD standard, which is for teachers, which talks about promoting and modeling digital citizenship, I can't talk, and responsibility. So Stephanie, the article, like the part of the article, I really liked this article because I like the solvable, the difficult, the wicked challenges, and I liked how it related to policies and leadership. And I thought that the one that probably fit best for teachers was the rethinking the roles of teachers, for me at least. One of the things that I found interesting when I was reading it is how when they did the survey, 81% of teachers felt that technology was like important for teaching, but only 1 in 3 felt that they were being supported in the use of technology in their classrooms. And that just really stood out to me. And I think it's something that you and I have talked about in a lot of the videos that we've done, is that there's not a lot of support for how to bring it in. Like they try to, but it's just, there's something missing in that support system. What do you think?
I think the same. I put that pretty much the same thing, that teachers are now moving from authoritative role to a consultant role. They're not expected to be the ones delivering the information anymore. The students are expected to go and find it themselves.
Yeah.
And they have to do that through their trainings, they have to teach the kids how to do this. So it can't just be, okay, go do this. Just as teachers are expected to be trained on how to implement this technology, so are the students. And I think that's one link that teachers cannot miss. You have to teach your students how to use this, how to be safe, because the internet is really, really big. And you have to teach your students how to be safe, how to copyright, not forgery, plagiarism.
Plagiarize, yeah.
You have to go through all that with your students.
Yeah, like I feel like as for me as a teacher, like this is going to be my 7th year teaching, and I'm still struggling. Like I want to bring technology in, and this sounds really stupid. One of my biggest struggles is kids can't type, and I'm just frustrated with how we're missing like the link on something so simple as that. And like there's so much more with technology we can do, but kids are just missing some of those basic steps. Like, and I think that's part of the thing I was reading in here. Like we have to really rethink what we're doing, but we also, these kids need to be prepared, and they're not. So, yeah, that's a good one. Student, so digital citizen. What did you think about this student?
I found it interesting. They went through a lot with the students, and what I find personally is that it's first getting there. So something we have not done, but that we've done throughout the class, is have a digital presence. That's not something I do in my class just because I didn't know how, but it gives a lot towards the students. It shows them, like they did through the internships, how they can get job training, how they can understand what it is to work for somebody else at a young age. And you do that through the digital citizenship. You have to find, it's that the students had to research what the company was about, how they do it. So I found that interesting, and something that we did in this class was go through the blogs and everything. We went through the blogs, through the online assessments, and those blogs itself, the blogs, they promote a big digital citizenship because it's not just the students in the school reading it anymore. It's just not the teacher. It can go through anybody. Anybody can see it. Somebody in China, if they were on their website, they could see it. And so that was interesting because it says that it gives them the resources they need when they have that personalized learning, that they have increased engagement, and it helps close that achievement gap because they are so engaged and it is just for them. So I found that really interesting.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. I think kind of goes with what I was reading when I read the authentic learning experiences, like building like within the community and building online, like with different companies, and having students get that success that they're going to need for their higher education. There's so many experiences out there that we didn't have when we were younger. Like I remember, and I was senior year of high school, and it was the first time you were able to do like a video chat with another school, and it was really big. But there's so much more now for kids out there. And I think teachers and administrators have to make sure that they get something that's going to be successful for students. They don't get sucked into something that isn't going to be successful. And I really like in the article, it's talking about like cultivating citizenship. And I just think that's big. Like these kids have to be prepared to be citizens in this world that's using technology. And I think kind of going in with what you're talking about, all of those advances and chances that they have really is going to support them in that endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, coaches. Again, digital citizenship. So the one that I found for coaches is there's so much that administrators want to do, but they're kind of struggling because of financial obligations and finding the time. And I was reading about the Scaling Teaching Innovations, and I feel like that might be an area where coaches can go and kind of run with it. I know that coaches are bogged down with a lot of stuff, especially like the ones at my school, they get stuck doing a lot of the paperwork and stuff that the administrators don't want to do. But I feel that maybe there's a chance for them to go in and support the teachers, really giving them that positive feedback and helping them, find a way to use that technology that they want to use and helping the students achieve that technology and achieve those things. And I think that somehow with coaches, maybe there can be a connection between admin and teachers and something that just gets the ball rolling in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
That's what I read too. I read that the coaches have to, like you said, go in, see how we can implement for you personally, because as you said, they had that study where they found that 81% of U.S. teachers said they feel it's important to incorporate technology for the pedagogical trainings, but they find that only 1 in 3 are using them because of the lack of training. They have to have professional development and training. It's vital for teachers to implement this. And as you said, something's missing, and I think it is them not going and not kind of staying consistent with it throughout the year, because it does. Technology is crazy. You go to training like, oh, I get this, I can do this. And then you try it in your class, and it's just like, well, what does this mean? Or why can't I do this on this computer? And that's when coaches should be like, okay, well, let's see. That's when they should be coming in and helping teachers do what they need to do.
Right. Yeah, I had a training this summer, and afterwards the coach, she was kind of like, and if you don't remember, I'm going to come in and yell at you. And I'm thinking, I got a month till school. Like, if I forget, I better not get in trouble. Like, it was a month ago. Like, you have to kind of be understanding and help them with that. So. Okay. And the last one, administrators. So what did you find with administrators?
So one thing it talked about was that schools need to partner with communities. And as an administrator, it's important that they make that link, that they are going out in the community, because the community has so many resources, such as those internships or donating materials, donating technology, or just coming in and help reinforce certain aspects of what they're learning at that grade level. And so another way that administrators would support teachers was through this online learning. So they mentioned how through the Obama administration, he wanted to provide, or he was working on providing internet to all students, not just the higher students, those socioeconomic students as well. And so they'll get, and I know my district offers this where they can get internet for $10. If they don't have those $10, some administrators, I don't remember where it was, they were finding environments that students can do this if they didn't have it at home, such as extended library hours. So budgeting for someone to stay in that library after school. Or one thing I read, which I thought was really cool because they spend so much time on the bus, is adding routers to the buses to where students get Wi-Fi to be doing their work. And so I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I read something in I'm pretty sure I read, like, they're trying to build more towers like the district is so that they can get more internet out there to the students. Because I know, like, my parents, where I grew up in Ohio, still have no internet. Like, when I go home, I went home this summer for a family function, and to do my homework, I had to go to McDonald's, which is 20 minutes in town, to go sit and do my homework. So, like, it's still, like, living in a big city now, like, a lot of people don't believe me. And I'm like, no, seriously, there's no internet, there's no cell phone. Good luck finding me when I'm at my parents' house. Like, it's crazy. And I think that kind of like what you're talking about, like, that's a struggle for administrators. Like, we want to use this technology, but how do we get the kids to do their work outside of school or to do these project-based learning assignments, these personalized learning assignments when the students don't have access at home? And one of the things I read was like teachers giving extra time. And I think that's great, but it's still a huge struggle. And that's part of also the issue with closing that achievement gap. like, how can you close that gap when so many of the students in that gap are students who don't have the money, or their parents, they're living in poverty. And it's so difficult, and it's hard to see as an educator. And I just don't know, there's not a perfect situation yet. I think we've got a lot of things going on, what you discussed. I like the routers on the bus, but there's just still so many problems out there. And I think that's why that achievement gap is a wicked challenge, because we don't have a perfect solution yet. But I think we're trying, and we're on the right route, I think. So, and I think that's the last standard for today. I really liked this conversation. That was kind of nice to read the same article.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Well, okay. Thank you, Stephanie. And anyone who wants to comment, please feel free.
Have a great day.